There are no right answers to wrong questions. Ursula K. Le Guin. Welcome to Retire Mentorship, your mentor to and through retirement. Today we examine the principal problem, the main problem we are trying to solve with retirement financial planning. It's not what you think. First, the 2-min tune-in, the primary points of the podcast in the first 2 minutes. Most of us have been told that we need to save up a certain amount of money to retire, a capital sum of investments, our retirement principal. We are told that we need to protect our principal amount, to go from growth and accumulation to preservation and distribution. We are told the primary problem is the loss of our retirement principal. Therefore, our prime directive is to protect and preserve that principal with quote-unquote safe investments. I believe this is wrong. People don't live off principal, they live off income. Rely on an income in your working years, you will live off a retirement income in retirement. The principal problem in retirement, thus, is not your retirement principal at all. It is retirement income. Your prime directive is not the protection of principal, but the creation of income. You need income that lasts the duration of your retirement, goes in the direction you require to cover rising costs, and has a deviation to flex with your variable expenses. You need an increasing flexible income over 30 plus years. That contrast, the creation of retirement income versus the protection of retirement principal, may be the decisive difference between your money outliving you and you outliving your money. The principal problem. There are 2 doors that every one of us will face. Only one we will walk through. The 2 doors represent 2 options, and each of us will walk through one or the other. These doors are the outcomes of our retirement. Each one of us will retire someday, whether by choice or by force, and at the end of our retirement, we will walk through one of 2 doors. The first door, the money outlives the people. Both retirees live a life of independence and dignity through their retirement and leave a legacy of generosity and blessing to their children and loved ones. The second door, the people outlive the money. The money runs out. The couple is forced to be dependent on others. They leave a legacy of stress and financial hardship. Anyone can retire comfortably, but not everyone will stay comfortably retired. The only way to stay comfortably retired is to overcome the principal problem, the main problem that everyone in retirement will face. So let's cover what that problem is not, what the problem is, and how we can begin to solve it. What the problem is not. Point number 1, the principal problem is not protection of principal. Most Americans are taught to believe that for retirement, the main goal is to save up enough money to build their retirement principal, to build up the total value of all the retirement accounts to a certain point so that they can comfortably retire. We are taught to invest in quote-unquote riskier investments early on in life. Then, as we approach and enter retirement, we progressively change those over into quote-unquote safe investments, typically stocks on the one hand and then transitioning into bonds and cash on the other. We enjoy seeing our retirement principal grow as the stock market is good, and we are terrified when we see it fall. The thought of losing our life savings drives many people to choose safer investments in retirement. They select fixed income investments, bonds, annuities, CDs, options that are quote-unquote safe. When the market crashes, we hear people talking about losing their retirement principal. How much did the stock market go down? How much money did people lose? Therefore, we think that the principal problem that retirees face is losing their retirement principal. But this is not the problem. Think about it. When you decide whether or not you can buy something, do you think to yourself, do I have a high enough net worth to afford this? When you are asking if you can afford something, what you're asking is, do I have enough income to afford this? Do I have enough in my savings account to afford this? Will enough money be coming in to allow me to purchase this and the other things that I will need to purchase in the near and far future without jeopardizing my financial security? No one in their working years calculates the total value of their retirement net worth to determine their current budget. Even in retirement, we don't think, do I have enough retirement principal to buy this? Why? because we cannot do the math in our heads to calculate how to spread out retirement investment. It's easy to think in terms of income while we are earning that income. If we were not taught otherwise, we would continue to think in terms of income and retirement. It is an income problem, not a principal problem. Therefore, the principal problem in retirement is not principal at all. What the problem is, and that leads to my second point, the principal problem is retirement income. How does one create an income in retirement to replace the income you have become accustomed to over decades? That is the issue. And this income needs to do three things. You must have what I call three-dimensional income in retirement. The first dimension is duration, income that lasts as long as you do. When you stop working and start turning your retirement money into income, you need an income that will last the duration of a two-person retirement, typically 30 years. How do we make sure that the money you have saved up over a 40-year career lasts 30 more years without you working? How do we make sure that we don't burn through it too fast? The issue of longevity is where many people lean on annuities and pensions. Pensions are an income streams that are usually guaranteed to last the lifetime of the pension holder, and sometimes their spouse's life if that ends up being longer. These guarantees are backed by the retiree's employer, a government entity or a company. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. The guarantees are only as good as the entity guaranteeing them. For example, the Tax Foundation ranks state pensions by how well they can pay their promises. That is, of the money they have pledged to retirees, what percentage of those pledges has money to back it up? They have a handy map from the 2017 fiscal year. I live in Wisconsin, which is one of the best pensions in the nation. The Wisconsin Retirement System's Employee Trust Fund. It was ranked number 1 in 2017 with 103% of its promises funded. Excellent pension, very well managed. On the other hand, Minnesota's PARA pension, the Public Employees Retirement Association pension, is ranked number 36 with only 63% of its promises funded. To the south of us, Illinois is ranked number 48 with only 38% of its promises funded. And before you begin to think this is a red state versus blue state issue, Kentucky was the worst with only 34% of its contracts funded. It turns out that when it comes to promising retirees more than they can deliver, Republicans and Democrats are equal opportunity offenders. Some corporations still have pensions, but we've all heard of the company pensions going bankrupt and employees losing large portions of their retirements. If you depend on a pension that is only 1 to 2/3 funded to quote-unquote guarantee your income in retirement, you may want to rethink your retirement income. For the vast majority of American retirees without pensions, many will look to annuities to provide income. The use of annuities is a big topic and one which we will devote an entire episode to. In short, an annuity is offered by an insurance company where an individual can deposit a large sum of money, say $100,000, and get a guaranteed payout for life. Those payouts are usually around 5%, so about $5,000 per year on $100,000. The guarantees are backed by the company, means that if the company goes bankrupt, there is no guarantee. Let me say that again, in case you missed it. There is no way to guarantee retirement income. Not truly. There are better and worse ways to promote it. Annuities are often marketed as personal pensions and are used to help resolve the first dimension, duration. Pay $100,000 and get $5,000 for life, no matter how long you live. Live 20 years and you get it back. Live 30 plus years and the company has to keep paying you. Live long and you win, live short and the insurance company wins. This guaranteed paycheck for life can help ease people's minds about outliving their money. But here is where annuities are oversold and underdeliver. They mostly fail at the second dimension of retirement income. The second dimension is this: direction, income that rises faster than the cost of living. You need an income that will go in the direction you need it to go over 30 years. Up. Who would be satisfied if they were making the same income now that they made 20 years ago? No one. Your income has needed to increase to match the rising cost of living over your entire working life. Between the day you retire and the day you die, the cost of everything will double or more. You need a retirement income that will rise to the occasion. If the cost of everything you need is doubling, your retirement income that is guaranteed for life but at a set amount will be less and less useful. Take this example. Suppose an employer offered you a guaranteed salary to work over the next 30 years. But over those 30 years, your employer would gradually cut that salary in half. Would you take the job? Even if it was guaranteed? Probably not. When annuities are sold, inflation is rarely discussed. Neither is the reality of an income that is effectively halving over a lifetime. It does not matter if your income lasts the duration of retirement if, by the end, it is half of what it needs to be. Anyone can retire comfortably, but not everyone will stay comfortably retired. Far too many retirees will underestimate their need for this second dimension. The third dimension of retirement income is this: deviation, income that flexes with your variable expenses. Is your retirement income flexible? Can it deviate? Your expenses aren't the same each year, and they also don't perfectly inflate by 3%. You have a few years with low expenses, then you need to buy a car or pay your max out of pocket for healthcare. Or you're going on that once in 5 years trip. Your expenses flex, and your income needs to flex with it. If all your income is from pensions, Social Security, and annuities, it may have duration, and it may even have direction, but will lack any ability to change year to year. Deviation, both for planned and unplanned expenses, needs to be a feature of your retirement income. Three-dimensional retirement income. Duration, income that lasts as long as you do. Direction, income that rises faster than the cost of living. And deviation, income that flexes with your variable expenses. The principal problem in retirement is not the stock market going up and down, the temporary dips of your retirement principal. The principal problem in retirement is inflation, the rising cost of everything you want and need to buy over a two-person 30-year retirement. Therefore, the focus should not be on protecting your retirement assets in the short run with safe investments, such as fixed income. The focus must be on how you can grow that income to match your needs 10, 20, and 30 years from now. I don't know about you, but I really don't want to carry a fixed income into 30 years of rising costs. The problem is not principal, it is income. So how do we solve this problem? You need a plan and a partner. You need a plan. People don't plan to fail, but they do fail to plan, which has the same result. You need a retirement income plan, not a retirement income product, though one might be part of the plan. You need a plan to turn that retirement principal into three-dimensional retirement income. Income that will last the duration of your retirement, heads in the right direction in retirement, and has the useful ability for deviation in retirement. You need a plan that will be able to roll with the punches. What is your plan for when you experience a market correction or global recession in retirement? What is your plan for when inflation takes off? What is your plan for unforeseen health costs? A good retirement income plan will have the flexibility and structure to deal with the various problems you will face. And you need a partner, someone to show you the way, to teach you how to create three-dimensional income, someone who will coach you through the difficult times that you will face, someone to provide accountability and guide you every step of the way, keeping you on the straight and narrow path. You need an excellent financial planner that you trust and who knows how to do this. Before you can solve the principal problem, you need to know what it is. If you go to a financial advisor or planner and ask, I saved up all this money for retirement, how do I keep it safe? You are asking the wrong question. There are no right answers to wrong questions. Suppose that advisor does not focus on long-term retirement success. In that case, she might give you the right answer to that question. She'll have you take a risk tolerance questionnaire and stick all your money in a low volatility, low growth instruments, or guarantee a fixed income for you. But it was the wrong question, and you will not like the results of that right answer to the wrong question. Instead ask, I saved up all this money for retirement, how can I turn it into an increasing income that I cannot outlive? Then, if you are with a retirement financial planner, you will get an answer in the form of a plan that gives you the best chance for your preferred outcome. Outcome number 1, the money outlives the people. Then you will have the best chance at solving the principal problem. This is Freeman Lindy, signing off. This podcast is educational only and is not intended to be investment, legal, or tax advice or recommendations, whether direct or incidental. Again, this is not investment advice. Consult your financial, tax, and legal professionals for specific advice related to your specific situation. Never take investment advice from someone who doesn't know you and your specific situation. All opinions expressed in this podcast are the opinions of the speakers expressing them. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. Retirement Mentorship is not affiliated with or controlled by any registered investment advisor, broker-dealer, or other financial services company.